Hey, it's Soul with another video, and today we're going to go over pretty much everything that you need to know about professions in patch 8.3. If you find this video informative, hey, leave a like, maybe subscribe for more of this and all things Warcraft. 8.3 adds new recipes to most professions, but not nearly at the scale as it did in 8.2. There is no raised max profession level and no new herbs or metal to farm, so gatherers, thanks for coming, but you got kind of baited, sorry. There's nothing new in archaeology either, but that hasn't been updated in forever anyway. I don't think I baited anyone there. And there's also no new feasts, or potions, or flasks. But there are still items that you can make for yourself, and more importantly, for your wallet. Let me show you how you're going to get situated. As you progress through the 8.3 storyline, which is going to take a few hours, you're going to enter a vision of either Uldum or the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. While you're there, you're going to pick up a number of recipes just from mobs, all related to your professions, including cooking. Depending on your profession, you'll also pick up a recipe for a very important item called a Void Focus, which is like the anvil of this patch, and I'm going to get to that in a second. The recipe itself calls for Void Focus Splinters. Fortunately, they're also dropping in the same place and anywhere where you're fighting the old gods, so this Void Focus won't take very long to craft at all. Once you do, you'll receive a quest to turn it in, and the Void Focus will now be able to be used to craft equipment that starts at item level 440, which, after crafting something, will give you a 455 recipe, and then after that, you'll get a 470 recipe. This should be very familiar if you played through patch 8.2, where you developed an Abyssal Focus in Nazjatar. Now we have a Void Focus. It's basically the same deal. And just like in Nazjatar, you'll get follow-up quests to obtain Shreds of Insanity to upgrade your Void Focus that's going to let you craft these upgraded versions. But here's the cool part. These shreds can be obtained through a wider variety of content, notably both raiding and PvP activities will drop these quest items. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to test this thoroughly, but simply being in the battleground with kills happening around you scored me a couple of these shreds. So it's nice to see further iteration in part of Blizzard by making these sorts of recipes accessible for non-raiders. But now for the crafting professions themselves. We'll start with the armor professions: blacksmithing, tailoring, leatherworking. It's a lot of the same stuff with a small twist. Like previous patches in this expansion, there are two kinds of armor crafting that you can do. This season's PvP/catch-up set is called Uncanny, which is item level 400 gear. The recipes for these can be learned straight away from your trainer, and just like before, rank upgrades can be purchased from your local Mark of Honor vendor for, hey, Marks of Honor. What's a bit funny here is that the artwork finally changed from this boring, drab PvP look to the Warfront set. So these recipes may have some longevity for the sake of getting transmog. Just keep in mind that you still can't craft the helm, the shoulder, or the chest pieces, since those are Azerite pieces. The other recipes are ones that you'll find when farming visions. As I said earlier, crafting the first level will unlock the second level recipe, and that will unlock the third. These BOP pieces are always socketed, and in my testing of the most current build, the item level 440 pieces cannot proc a corrupted effect. As for the higher levels, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Moving right along, Alchemist's only new recipe is for a more powerful, once again upgradable Alchemist Stone, which makes for a pretty badass trinket. Engineers will add their usual assortment of PvP weapons and a new set of Azerite goggles. Inscription is going to get access to contracts once again, this time for the Rajani and the Uldum Accord factions. Like in previous patches, the recipes require revered reputation with the respective faction. Scribes will also get a PvP offhand to make and a Vantis rune for the last raid, Nyalotha. Enchanting is the runt of the lot, unfortunately. They can make an uncanny wand to sell, and that's it, whoop-de-doo. Jewel crafting fares a little bit better. They can also make an uncanny staff and an upgradable ring. There are new fish to farm for in 8.3. Aberrant Voidfin and Malformed Gnashers can be found in Uldum and in the Vale. Naturally, that means that there are some new cooking recipes as well. 5 recipes are coming in the patch that will use these fish along with a new meat, the aptly named Questionable Meat, to make food pertinent to one of the patch's most central features, horrific visions. The food provides a variety of buffs to help you along, including passive healing, increased run speed, and what will probably be the most useful, reducing crowd control. And all of these effects only work inside these visions or horrific visions. The recipe for this food, by the way, doesn't cost any fish at all, so if you can't stand fishing, this would be the material to farm. That pretty much takes care of all the professions, so as for a few quick opinions on professions in this patch, there's no question that this feels like a bare minimum effort at upgrading this feature for what's current. And it tops off what's turned out to be a pretty mixed bag for professions in Battle for Azeroth. Unfortunately, Professions typically has played third string when it comes to endgame progression, but as an activity, Professions are still valuable. There is going to be a hot demand for item level 400 catch-up gear for alts, and returning players eager to get into the action. Consumables will always be useful, and with Horrific Visions as a progression path to eventually obtain near mythic level gear, resources might be especially in demand. Unfortunately though, I think Professions in this expansion focused a little bit too much on the utility of items as opposed to visuals and just plain fun, which resulted in Professions that feel a little bit barren. I mean, isn't it a little bit depressing that the Profession armor sets didn't change at all until the very end of the expansion? And it uses the same Warfront skins. And it's not a complete set, which, well, that doesn't even matter because again, it uses the same old Warfront skins. That's just one little gripe from me, and I really hope that Blizzard gives more time for Professions in Shadowlands so we can make more cool stuff. And I guess that's a wrap. So don't forget to leave a like and your thoughts in a comment below, and I'll see you next time. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, and stay breezy.